Guys, what's up? What's going on out there today? Hey, Brent Abel here, webtennis.com, another episode of the Tennis Mindset Project. And today's message is about when we are practicing, whether we're in a drill situation, maybe we're playing some practice points or a few practice games, maybe some constraint drills, a practice set, even a practice match. And to me, practice, those sessions for me, I really want to bring out one thing on that day that I just want to work on. And I might not work on it the entire time, but for the most part, I'm not thinking about winning practice. I'm not thinking about winning a practice drill session. I'm not thinking about the need to win practice points or win a practice set or a match, whatever. I'm really out there focused on, hey, what's this thing I feel like I need to continue to habituate into a really good habit? And to me, the practice arena is the time to do that if you can get your ego out of the way. I mean, look, I see way too many guys out there, and I used to be one of them, where the last thing I wanted to do in a practice match was to come off the court, go inside the clubhouse, and the first thing that someone would ask, hey, yeah, that looked like a good match. Who won? And kind of that thing where, you just are sort of going, well, not me. He won. The guy, whoa, really? And you're going, yeah. Well, what happened? I don't know. Where in your mind, that, what's happening out there is you're working on something. So to me, anyone who I mean, I never ask. I see guys out there practicing, playing points, a few games a set, whatever. I never ever ask them who won, because I know that if they're a real bona fide player, tournament player, someone who's really trying to become better, if I know they're working on something or a few things, then I know that's what's going on. And it's more to me. I'll just say, hey, what are you working on today? And so it's less about the result, and it's way more about what are you working on. And to me, that question starts a conversation that I love. If I come off the practice court and someone asks me, hey, yeah, nice stuff out there. What are you working on? And I usually say, hey, you got a few minutes. And they'll go, sure. And I'll sit down and I'll just say, I'm working on this thing. And yeah. And so look, you got to be careful with feeling the ego, feeling the need to win practice matches, to win practice sets, to win practice games or points, or even drills, right? I mean, wow. I mean, if you're trying to win the drill session, yike. Use that as an arena to be able to work on stuff. And again, if you can stomach the fact that you might lose to someone in a practice match that normally you wouldn't in a tournament or a league match, okay, good for you. Because that means that you've really focused on something today, rather than that need to come off the court and be able to tell someone in the clubhouse, yeah, I won. Get away from that. Just get away from that. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's something that if you're going to get better, then number one, you got to be able to use practice sessions for that. That's why it's called a practice session or a practice match, right? You get to work on something. And look, from time to time, and I'm not, it's rare, and it happens for me more when I get closer to a tournament. I'll go out there and play some points or a set or a practice match, and now I'm done with kind of focusing on that one thing. Then I really get into, well, what do I want to be doing in a match? Well, what I want to be doing in a match is I want to make sure I'm disciplined with my 4 parts between points routine. So that's what I will practice in that kind of a setting when I'm bumping up maybe a week, 10 days before a tournament. I want to clear out any kind of conscious thinking about maybe a little swing tech thing, or maybe whatever it is. Now I'm going deep into, okay, let's work on the 4 parts between points routine. And by the way, if you've not picked up my free private course on that, you should. It's right here. Go on over to webtennis.com, drop in a first name, email address, and you get immediate access to that free but private 20-minute video where I describe my very specific 4 step-by-step between points routine. That, look, the reality is that 80% of the match is spent is spent between points and on side changes, right? 80% of the time we're on the court in a match, we're not playing points. So if you don't expertly manage that 80%, the chances of you consistently playing well in the 20% of the match, the actual points, not great. So, at some point in a practice setting, you also want to practice that as well. Your 4 points BPR, your 4 points between points, your 4 parts, between points routine. All right, guys, that's it for me today. That's it for me today. Short message, but I think you get what I'm talking about. Make sure that you get the ego out of the way in practice. Work on some stuff. Embrace when you make mistakes on that thing that you're working on, because that's when you get to learn about it, right? It's not like that instant light switch where you go, okay, well, I'm going to work on my underspin backhand today and driving it right up the middle. And you know what? You end up making a few mistakes and then you get all frustrated because you're making mistakes. Well, that's when the learning has an opportunity. Right there is when you're making mistakes. And so if you can keep the emotions out of missing a few times in a row, I know it's not easy, it's tough, but you gotta tough that thing out, and you gotta be obsessed with embracing the missing, embracing the mistakes and not getting emotional about it, and actually being analytical about it. Okay, that's cool. What I meant to do instead was this thing. And eventually what you get into is when you hit a really good, let's say you're working on that underspin backhand right up the middle, you hit one great, stop for a second and practice and take 5 seconds, turn around, turn your back to the net, and just shut your eyes and put into your brain a little video of what that looked like to you, what the height was over the top of the net, what the feeling was as you went through the ball, whatever it is. But just imprint that as a little MP4, right? A little video into your brain, so that now after that 5 seconds, you can turn around, you can restart the drill and just recall that little video, right? What the height was over the net, what the feeling was as you went through the ball, as opposed to getting a little pissy, a little bratty out there because you missed a couple times. Wham! Okay, you'll be all right. All right, guys, look, hope this has been helpful today. Let me know down below in the comments area what's on your mind. Any questions, any comments, feedback, remarks, whatever it is, let me know. I'd love to read those and be able to respond. But if you want to keep the conversation private, that's totally cool. Brent at webtennis.com. We can do it that way as well. Look, quick reminder, webtennis.com. First name, email address, get access immediately to my 4 step-by-step BPR, between points routine. It is private, it's private video, but it's free for you when you do that. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Hope this has been helpful. As always, it's time to get out there. We got to help someone else have a spectacular day. Gang, see you guys again next time.